I'm putting my heart in this, dog. Let's go, man. Let's go. Stick to Boston. Stick to Boston. Damn guys on shit. Damn guys on shit. Stick to Boston. Stick to Boston. Damn guys on shit. Damn guys on shit.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Through the Eye of the Hurricane. I'm your host, Charlie Boyd, and I thank you for being patient in terms of the episode dropping. I know they haven't been dropping as consistently as I would like, but, you know, the old adage, life happens. For those of you wondering, before we begin the episode, I am wearing a mask. Because as you can recall, I was recently had a sore throat, if you will. I'm still feeling a little bit of the effects, but I'm happy and healthy enough to be back in the studio. So I spent 45 seconds explaining randomness. So without further ado, let's get into today's episode. To begin today's episode, I wanted to just speak on what a great job Mario has done with this recruiting class. In fact, the title of this episode, when it's uploaded to YouTube, will be called Mario Lovefest for various reasons. One, he is an excellent recruiter. He has a great track record in terms of bringing elite prospects to various programs around the country. I mean, you look at Oregon, back before he got there, I believe they were a 4-8 program, and he turned them into 10-4, and with a Rose Bowl appearance. And for those of you that don't know, any time you make a bowl game, it's considered very good, regardless if it counts or not. So, number one, he has that. Number two, I believe, and I'm biased because I'm a pro Hurricanes podcast, but I believe that he knows the game. He knows the ins and outs. He knows what it takes to be successful. And that's all that you can ask for in a coach. Number three, I mean, he's got the golden, mainly because South Florida is a football hotbed, and most of the football athletes who try not to be pro come from South Florida. I mean, you look at everybody. You look at Ray Lewis. He was a product of the U. You look at Devin Hester. He's a product of the U. What do they all have in common? They all honed their experience in South Florida. So I think not only does he have a golden ticket in terms of that, it's also a very rich, vibrant community. There's also a lot of people that live here that come from different cultures. We have, because side note, I live in Miami. I'm from Miami. So we have a lot of people that come from Colombia, mainly Cuba, or any country. We're basically the United Nations, but for countries. So onto the football aspect. I really think he has that as part of his development as well. I mean, it also helps that he is also from Miami, so he's able to connect with recruits and players in English and in Spanish, because as I mentioned, we have a very diverse population, and so does the University of Miami. So I think he has that in the bag for him in terms of success. So in regard to the Cormani McClain situation, I think that Cormani throws for a loop, in my opinion. For those of you that don't know, he was said to have signed his letter of intent with us on Wednesday. I think it was Gio Milan on Twitter that reported that from sources he heard that he was going to sign his letter of intent on Wednesday, I believe it was. That was obviously not the case. We have since heard in recent days that he is in contact with Colorado. And for those of you that don't know, or for those of you that don't follow football rather, Colorado is now being, the head coach is now Deion Sanders. He went from Jackson State to Colorado in a pretty hefty bargaining chip in terms of how college football, the hierarchy is, if you will, in my opinion. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out in the next coming days. I think that Cormani will be loyal and that he will not end up going to Colorado. But at the end of the day, I personally, as amateur podcast host, if you will, won't be upset, because at the end of the day, we need to all understand that sports is a business, and regardless if a prospect went to your school or not, that gives you no reason to tweet them, at them, send them death threats, or give them harm to their family. If you do that, you're a disgusting human being. But that's just my opinion. So, to sum it all up, Mario Cristobal is a great recruiter. We are in good hands. He will steer the ship in the right direction. It will take a while, but I firmly believe that he is the right man for the job. So, with that, I wanted to say, see you all next week. Go Canes, and
Happy holidays!
from all of us at Through the Eye.